Good morning, everybody. We welcome you here today as we remember the life of Liv. Just some things that we do need to say because we are so overfull. If there is any kind of emergency, there are plenty of exit doors. Just make sure, if you're nearest those, to push those open so that everybody can get out easily, and we'd really, really appreciate that. My name's Leo Hansen. I'm the Senior Minister here at Majestic, but today, even more importantly, a member of the family. So for all of us today, this is raw and this is real. To Phil, Ninka and Mitchell, we can only know a measure of your loss today. We love you and are thankful that you have partners by your side to help you navigate this time. For the rest of the family, we acknowledge your heartache as best we can and pray for all of you for God's peace, comfort and strength. Welcome those who've travelled from around the nation at short notice. Thanks for being here today. We acknowledge all friends and others and family who are watching online today. Sorry you can't be here with us in person, but the fact that we can join in that way is a great thing we're able to do because of technology. We are here today to remember, to honour, and to celebrate the life of a stunning young woman. A loved daughter and sister, granddaughter, niece, cousin, friend, and a champion sports person. Livy. A life cut far too short. But we come here today in unity, unified around the life of Liv, with no negative judging agenda, but a unity that says we are together working toward a more aware humanity, individually, collectively, and organisationally. Let's pray. God, today we just ask that you would be here among us. As we remember this beautiful life, remember Liv, today as we hear the words and as we watch on the screen, may the words and pictures, may we engage with those today. And out of this service today, make us better humans because of your love for us. Amen. We'll start our service today. Joe is going to come and do a reading for us. Then after that, we're going to stand together and sing the hymn, Amazing Grace.
What moves through us is a silence, a quiet sadness, a longing for one more day, one more word, one more touch. We may not understand why you left this earth so soon, or why you left before we were ready to say goodbye. But little by little, we begin to remember not just that you died, but that you lived and that your life gave us memories that are too beautiful to forget.
Wonder if we could just stand together as we sing, as we are led by Marley and Honor, accompanied by Dave.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. When we've been here 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, with no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun.
Well sung, people. Well sung. I think we would have been proud of that effort. Take a seat. Suzanne is now going to come and share eulogy. Suzanne's Philip's cousin, and luckily for me, my wife.
Olivia Rose, known to many of us as Liv, Livy, and Little Dobby. A lot of us will be familiar with the poem, The Dash, written by Linda Ellis. It talks about after we pass away, we will be remembered by two notable dates, our birth date, our death date, separated by a dash in between. That tiny dash represents all the time we have lived on this earth, and for Olivia, sadly, it wasn't that long. Only 24 years. But the poem, The Dash, discusses the importance of embracing each and every day of our lives. And for Olivia, the dash represented a life lived with boldness, passion, determination, positivity, love, which impacted family, friends, community, and even strangers. Liv made her entrance into this world on 24th of May 1997, which brought great relief to Ninka, as she said she felt like she had been carrying a golden Labrador for the whole 9 months. So right from the start, Livy was one energetic girl. Everything about her was perfect, but the doctor at the time commented to the proud parents, "She looks like she has muscles already," which they laughed about, but deep down they knew there would be something special about their girl. Mitchell was so excited to have a little sister, although she wasn't that little, weighing in at 10 pounds 4 ounces. When it came for her to attend preschool, guess how she was taken? On the bar of her mother's bike. So the biking adventure began early. Her school years were spent at Milton Grange, where she was involved herself in a variety of school sporting activities. The first day Olivia biked to school, she got wiped out by a taxi driver. Needless to say, that was not the end of the crashes that she would have experienced throughout her life. Philip and Ninka's only memory of her really getting into trouble at school was all about her hair. The style she often chose didn't quite conform to the school rules, but all she wanted to do was cover her ears. A lot of her childhood holidays were spent at the family bach in Akaroa, which is a place she loved where she could hang out with her grandparents' family and extended family. It was here she learnt to make the basic Kiwi salad dressing which she loved. I think she liked the condensed milk more than anything, but anyway. Another passion of hers was skateboarding, where we watched her dominate the Akaroa skate park to the surprise of all the local boys. A bike ride out to Sumner was a regular occurrence for this young girl, and one day she seemed to be biking a bit slow, and Ninka was getting cross with her, only to discover that little Dobby had ridden the whole way with her brake on. After completing her schooling, she was selected to join the High Performance Centre in Cambridge, and when she arrived there, Raywin became her second mum, for which the family will be forever grateful. In the years that followed, she travelled the world racing on her bike. With that came highs and lows, and one of her strengths was generosity, giving of her time to others, empowering and inspiring them on their journeys. The company iLamb loved using her on their Instagram posts and videos because of her natural beauty and strength. Liv, your outer beauty captured our eyes. Your inner beauty captured our hearts. Sometimes you never know the true value of a moment until it becomes a memory. Liv, we love you, and you will always hold a special place in our hearts.
I'd like to invite the family to come now and share with us Phil, Linka, with Chris and Mitchell. Let's come on up, guys.
This wasn't, I just realised I've got Olivia, you'll be smiling. I've got a wee speeding fine for Mitchell in amongst this. Sorry, son. I hope that makes you smile, Liv. If some of you know me, I'm a talker. But the last few days have crippled me to not even being able to reply or communicate properly. I thank you all for your love and support, flowers and gifts during these last days. It's been overwhelming. This short post was from someone. I'm going to read it. The short post was from someone that I found this morning and got permission to use, and is true, and I believe it and have experienced it personally in my life. So need to share it for others before speaking directly to Liv. I've never been more convinced that when John wrote this verse in John 10:10, it's true. That the thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have life to its full. We all need hope, everlasting hope. Not just what happened, not just what's happening now with how we measure success and failure. When we ever get to a point where we think we are of no value anymore, that's the biggest gutting lie on earth. We've been created in the image of God with incredible gifts and talents, given everlasting hope and joy, and though life is a storm often, there is hope. I keep thinking of the song we used to sing years ago and still gets sung. Because he lives, I can face tomorrow. Because he lives, all fear is gone. Because he lives, I know the future. An empty tomb is there because my Saviour lives. Never believe the satanic lie, you're not enough or not worth it. You are loved by God and his measure for your life, not other people's. Every single life from conception to the grave is precious. Prayers for everyone. My darling daughter Dobby, I'm going to say a few things that Sue already touched on, but they were wee things, special things that happened along the way. You came into this world by an emergency C-section, and as soon as I saw my special girl, I loved you and never stopped loving you. Olivia, you were so strong and full on compared to Mitch. He's quite big and strong now though. I remember the time when you pulled the jolly jumper right off the roof that Mitchell used to bob up and down with, and pulled the TV over that Mitchell watched in his wee high chair that you destroyed. We saw these skills put to good use in your cycling career. I love seeing you growing up and enjoyed watching you on the Daisy bike and the BMX and coming out in the dinghy at Akaroa with me to find the mysteries from the sea in our fishing net. At Akaroa, you ruled and owned the skate park and gave the boys there a real run for their money, for sure. So many wonderful memories live of family holidays at Akaroa, Lake Brunner, Kaiteri, biking, boating. I can remember you having so much fun on the water skis, kneeboarding, and living life to the full. You were the first to do anything. We would play tennis as a family, but had to get the ball continuously 2 courts over because Liv didn't do soft. Then came the years out at Denton Park. I so enjoyed helping, doing jobs, etc. out at Denton Park because it meant I could get lots of viewing of you racing and seeing you develop and others into fine young people and track cyclists. You had a special relationship with my late mother, Ina, and in her later years, you gave her so much joy when she was looking after you when you were young. My late dad, Stan, would have loved you and been so proud of you, Liv. Your cycling career was full of achievements, which I am proud of, as shown here today, and Hamish will tell us about these soon. I am so proud that you wanted to help others and chose to become an ambassador of the Chomley Children's Home. Remember when you got mad at me for not being able to start the red scooter? So you screamed out the window at Rose Street, came storming down the stairs, started the scooter, kick-started it with your hand on the throttle, and it went right through the side of the house into the dining room. I smiled later, but not then. You did not have to be anyone or anything, Liv. You were enough. I wish you were still here, Liv. I want to make you laugh and to see your smiling face again. You lit up a room with your presence, shone so much light that all could see. There was never a day I did not hold you in my thoughts and prayers while you lived in Cambridge. And there never will be until we meet again, but not yet, my princess. I promise you I will ride my bike again and feel the sun on my face and the wind rushing past, knowing you are there with me. I am so sorry, Livy Rose, that I did not know the extreme pain you were in. You will live on in my heart forever. Now rest in peace, my precious wee girl. Love, Dada.
Thank you everyone for coming today. The outpouring of love and support has been overwhelming. This is a diving story. When Livy was just a child, she was just not scared of anything. When we all used to go free diving at Akaroa, we were way out by the salmon farm. I asked Mitchell if he wanted to go in with me, and he said, "No way, Mum, I'm too scared." Livy was about 9 at the time, and to my shock and horror, she wanted to go in. So Phil put her little dive hood on and a little snorkel and mask, and down we went into the deep blue sea. She used to hold her breath and hold onto my shoulders and give me a little tap-tap on the shoulders when it was time to come up for air. While we were under, the biggest shadow came over the top of us. It was as big as the bottom of our boat, the biggest stingray I have ever seen in my life. I was so frightened, but she didn't even flinch. This is Livy's first biking experience down our driveway on her first proper road bike. It is really quite incredible that she got to where she got to right now. The first ride we went on, we weren't even at the end of the driveway, and she said, "Stop!" and she started complaining. "I don't like my biking clothes. I hate the colour of the road bike. I want to go back inside and watch TV." So then, eventually Phil and I, we had to bribe her. We said, we used to live in Kashmir, we said, "If you make it to Zeros, we'll give you cake. If you make it to Redcliffs, we'll give you ice cream. If you make it to Sumner, we'll give you chocolate brownie." Livy's Dutch grandfather was an Olympian as well. He competed in the 1928 Olympics. He was a weightlifter, so maybe this is where she got her strength and abilities from. This year, we got to spend some really good time together. Our Picton trip was amazing. We did the Great Ride together, a 100-kilometre bike race in Picton and through the Marlborough Sounds. So, coming hot into the finish line with her yelling at me, "Mum, you can't sprint these guys in." But I did anyway, and we beat them. At the end of the race, she wasn't complaining about sore legs, but from sore arms from having to push me up all those hills. She has always complained on every bike ride we do, "Mum, don't ride so close to me. You're not giving me enough room." Clearing out her room. When we went up this week to Cambridge, I had to go through all her things. It turns out she has been taking a lot of my clothes over the years. We're not just talking like a dress or two or a top. It was the full costume. The top, the matching skirts, belts, the jewellery, the full kit. No shame at all in that child. So I have helped myself to a few of her things. All her new iLab gear, the lovely tracksuits, the tops, everything. And I've worn them all this week. I love the relationship that Livy and Chris had together. She called him Man Candy. They were always giving each other business advice, life advice, and any other advice that was not needed. And they never wasted an opportunity to gang up on me. It was relentless. We all loved biking together, and I especially loved how our friends all became her friends. Good boy, Dexter. The Livy and I relationship. It was the best. We had the best times together. We were like two peas in a pod. She was my mini-me. We always talked and Skyped often. We were always laughing so much. We thought that our jokes together were so funny and that it didn't matter that no one else thought they were funny. She would always come shopping with me and dish out the fashion advice, the makeup advice, and spend all my money at the MAC makeup counter. I was not meant to see her on that last day. She got stuck at the airport on the way back from Queenstown because of the snow. I had a client that was messing me around for time, and then I just thought, stuff it, I'm going to go and see her and see if I can make it in time. Well, I made it, and we spent half an hour together. She just seemed so happy, talking about her trip and how much fun she had had in Queenstown. When she had to leave, she went up the escalator and I was down below it, and we were actually laughing in those final moments about the escalator. She just seemed so happy. I knew that she was struggling in the last few months, but I just thought she had enough new good stuff on the go to get her through. Dexter is actually Livy's dog, and Dexter has requested that he performs the meat trick for Livy for one last time. Mitchell, can you bring Dexter up onto the stage? Just unhook him. Dexter,
Hey.
Dexter, do you want to do the meat trick? Good boy. Sit down. Sit. Now wait. You've got to wait. Good boy. Okay, now you ready? Now wait. Sit down. You must wait. Now up. Good boy. Bit of stage fright. Sit down. Now wait. Up. Let's go. You get that, let's go. Livy, Man Candy, Dexter and Mummy, we love you forever.
I've no idea where to start. Nothing prepares you for this speech. How exactly are we meant to share our innermost pain with what feels like half the country watching? We're definitely not ready, and we're not all right. Olivia and I were close, and outside of her sports life, we just did lots of normal things together. My friends became her friends. They all loved Livy, and she in turn loved hearing about them and catching up with them on her regular visits. Livy and I would gang up on Granny, as we called Ninka. We knew all the buttons to push, and we would talk about boyfriends, alcohol, tattoos, and anything that might get Granny mad. We would watch Netflix in the evening. Ninka would be plaiting Livy's hair. They would do each other's nails, and all the usual girly stuff that they did each Livy visit. I just loved being around the two of them and enjoying their closeness and total ease with each other. Livy called her mum Ninka, or Granny, and it was like watching two old friends laughing and gossiping their way through life, not mother and daughter. Our conversations were usually happy, positive, and full of hope for Livy's and our futures. Livy last came and stayed with us only a few weeks ago. We would do coffee, and I'd drop her at Jolly Park Gym, her other world. Afterwards, I'd ask her how it went, and she'd tell me what she did and who was there. One recent day, she said Tom was there, Shot Pot Tom, and whoever else from the elite sports world. It didn't faze her, they were just friends and fellow athletes. This was her other world, switching from coffee with our friends, then into the serious stuff with the hitters of New Zealand sport, others striving to win like her. I'm telling you all this because Livy was just like lots of other girls here today. Hopes, dreams, boys, jobs, makeup, and mama. That and an extraordinary amount of physical and mental ability that enabled her to race at speeds over 70 kilometres per hour. Livy loved racing, she rode to win, and she won a lot of races for someone so very young. Livy lived in Cambridge for the past 7 years under Bike and Z High Performance. Her Cambridge friends are watching, the MIQ athletes are watching, and some have even made it down here today. She lived, as we heard earlier, with Raywin, who over time became her second mum. She loved Livy as if she was her own. Livy loved Raywin every bit as much. We met with Raywin this week, and she won't mind us saying that she is heartbroken. Too much so to journey south today. Raywin told us quite simply, I would faint. For the last year, Livy lived at Andy's in his beautiful Cambridge home. Green fields, quiet, and definitely a happy house. Andy loved Livy, and Livy loved Andy. Friends only. Livy left us this week from Andy's home. Andy is obviously heartbroken, and he's here with us today. Eric and Thea became close friends of Livy's. You know Eric, he was an NZ great and has been a wonderful friend and mentor for Livy. Eric, Thea and Andy were all on holiday with Livy in Queenstown last week. And as Ninka said, she appeared to have had a wonderful time with her favourite people. Jackson Ogle was one of Livy's best lifelong friends, part of her family. Christchurch, and then up in Cambridge. Jax is an outstanding track sprinter, just like Livy. He came down here today with his family to farewell his Livy. Elise Andrews was Livy's training partner and good friend. We even got Elise to our pub, Protocol, one Christchurch evening recently. Livy was the first to cheer for Elise when she did so well in Tokyo, and was excited that she and Elise could train to make a potential medal-winning sprint team at next year's Commonwealth Games. The same with Sian Fulton. Great training partners and friends, living their young lives in Cambridge while striving for their successes. By now you know that Livy had good friends everywhere. She had an outrageous talent, and she had strong mentoring from smart people. She wouldn't walk away. She told us, after we suggested she consider quitting, that she wanted to leave on her terms when she had achieved her goals and could look back knowing she had given her very best. This was a conversation we had with her very recently. What went wrong is not for today. There should be no stone left unturned if it means other folk will not have to go through what we are going through this week. Challenge everything you think you know, change the system so that someone else's Livy doesn't end up here in this situation. Ninka and I have a hole in our lives that cannot be filled. We are broken. Please don't let our tragedy be in vain.
Right, I don't know if I'm the not so little brother or big brother. Right. Before I say this, I just want to say thank you to any one of my friends, family that's helped us through this week. It's just been, just like Liv, just powerful and truly amazing just to be here in this facility and be looking amongst all you people here. I know there's hundreds more in the rooms out there and stuff. It's just a true testament to who my sister was and I guess our family as a whole. So, yeah. Olivia Rose Podmore, to my beautiful, strong and powerful sister, not a day goes by that I'm not thinking about you. Sometimes throughout my life, it felt like I had a brother. You know, you know as well as I do, we had so many fun memories growing up. I could not think of two siblings that could have had a better upbringing than us. One of my most fondest memories was when I was on holiday with Jackson and Monica, and I'd just purchased my first jet ski. Liv had begged me to come back from the holiday early so she could have a go. She jumped on the jet ski, and keep in mind it was a miserable, cold, rainy day, but nothing stops Liv. After a couple of minutes, I looked up and I could not see her on the lake. Yes, she had ridden up the side of the bank. Luckily, she was okay, and only a couple of broken ribs and a smashed helmet. I said to her, "What were you thinking?" She said back, "I thought it had brakes." In that moment, I realised why she loved track cycling so much. She lived life with no brakes. As we grow up with road and track cycling, you always had so much more heart and drive than I ever did. I remember I would always pick you up and drop you off. Looking back now, I realised why my parents pushed me so hard to get my driver's licence first. There was no way they were going to be in the car while she was driving. I remember one day we were in a handicap race out in Sefton. For those of you who don't know, that's a race where the slower riders leave first and the fastest leave last, ideally all coming together at the end. The race panned out perfectly. Everyone came together right before the finish of the race, and it was a bunch of about 100 people. Only a few k's from the finish line, things were heated. The riders were coming up to me saying, "You better watch out, Mitch, your sister's here." I think she was only about 15 at the time. You were always such a bright, bubbly person, and there was nothing anyone could have put in front of you to stop you. I always loved going over to our family batch in Akaroa with you. We had such fun times at the skate park together. I remember Mum and Dad would give us a $5 note. Sometimes we'd get a couple more dollars off the aunties or the grandparents, depending on how much we could persuade them. And that would be us for the day. A bottle of Coke and a couple of bags of chips and some lollies. I will never forget the day when you first tried to go up the big quarter pipe in Akaroa. I thought that Corey was going to do it first, but Liv did it first, and Corey went on to become a downhill mountain bike champion. In the past years, since Liv left school and went up to be in the high performance team in Cambridge, it's been hard living a life without you down here, but it was always good to catch up with you and hang out with you and have fun with all of our friends down here. My mates all think you're such an awesome person, and it's hard to think that this summer you will not be able to come out boating and jet skiing with us. I'd like to thank all the people that I don't know of that had such an influence on my sister's life. I am sure that you would have done anything for her, and I'm sure she would have done anything for you. She was such a ray of sunshine and really had a powerful personality. To my sister Olivia, in the past few days you would have been so proud. I think I've gone over that, haven't I? In the past few days you would have been so proud of how your friends, your family and your supporters have done everything they can do to make this week as easy as possible. You'll be looking down here smiling and laughing with us, knowing that you were in a better place. I will always remember you, and I will never waste another moment. I will live life to the fullest and try to be an influence on everyone I encounter for the rest of my days. Rest in peace, my gorgeous and amazing sister.
Mate, thanks so much. Family, there's going to be a little bit more to come yet, but we're going to hear a song now from Bexy called You Don't Lie. I think it's an original of hers, and Bexy's a friend of Olivia's and of Mitchell's. So thanks, guys. Just come and share that song with us, and then we're going to hear from Hamish Olivia's coach.
I feel like I should say something. Wow, it's so beautiful to see so many people here in memory of one of the most amazing people in the world. This is for love. You didn't mean it, you were just bleeding. How could I be angry when you were so kind? Wanted to save you, so I listened. I saw so much of me in your eyes. I let you under my skin, maybe autumn left me inside out. I showed you all of my fears, now I'm left in tears. You watered me down. Do you want this? You say that you don't. It kinda feels like you want this, hiding what you want. But you don't want this, you don't want this, you don't want this. And the truth is you don't lie. The truth is bad. Promised would end, but then you come over. You just hold me and we take it further. 'Cause I can't help myself, I wanna feel close. Close to you. I let you under my skin, maybe autumn left me inside out. I showed you all of my fears, now I'm left in tears. You watered me down. Do you want this? You say that you don't. It kinda feels like you want this, hiding what you want. But you don't want this, you don't want this, you don't want this. And the truth is you don't lie. The truth is bad. Don't, you don't lie. Oh my couldn't say it back. I don't know where I went from. Maybe I could have tried harder to find you in this heart. You did it, yes you did it, 'cause I hear, I hear, I choose to hear, I choose to hear. I hear. I love you, Libby, so much.
Thank you for that beautiful song. I'd like to invite Hamish to come and share with us now. Thanks, Hamish.
Just before I start, I'd like to thank Richard and Louise, who've been looking after me. Richard Smith and Louise Green. Richard, Kevin Searle and Shane Buckner, who've helped me write this eulogy. To people like Rion Nolan, Erin Downey, Kate Smith, the whole Ogle family, and so many other friends who responded to the message we saw. Big thanks to everyone who's been so supported us for our love for Olivia. I can't imagine the conversation at the Podmore residence in 2011 when Phil and Ninka told Olivia and Mitchell that they were getting me to coach them. But they both came out to the track at Denton Park. Neither said much, if you can believe that. I took one look at Olivia riding and said she was sitting too high on the bike, very unaerodynamic. So we put her bars down low and I said, sprint down low and flat. And Olivia came back in and said, that felt fast. And I said, in my best Craig Adair impersonation, you look just like Mark Cavendish. And pow, there was that smile. And we just clicked from there. The Olivia I know, my getting scared, someone so small then, was going so fast behind a motorbike at Denton Park. Her fearlessness in races as she made her way to 19 national titles, 5 Oceania titles, 2 Junior Worlds medals, a World Cup gold medal, and 5 national records, most recently 2 weeks ago, with Olivia King and Sian Fulton. Olivia representing New Zealand with huge pride at the 2016 Olympic Games, the 2018 Commonwealth Games, and the 2016, 2019 and 2020 World Track Cycling Championships. No matter where she raced, her smile remained in place for everyone. That was Liv's superpower. Her ability to share her love with all. At Denton Park when she was home, she would go and talk to everybody, especially any new girls in the sport. At school cycling, she loved to support everyone, and when home, she'd again come out and support people and give out awards. Up in Cambridge, She was everyone's friend, doing yoga with the events team and bringing them baking. Oh, the baking. It was well worth the 6 p.m. sessions in the middle of winter as we were preparing for the 2015 Junior Worlds. There was so much love and so much giving of herself, so much giving to her sport, to her friends, to her family. I wonder, did she keep anything for herself? Did she run the tank dry with the challenges of racing around the world at the highest level, pushing herself in training to be her best and trying to be everyone's friend? With a beautiful nature, when the black dog started hanging around, did Liv have the energy and the support at hand to see the danger? In the end, that black dog became a part of our wonderful young Olivia and has brought us all here. Mental illness changes people to the point they may make bad decisions and don't recognise the love that is right there in front of them. If you ever see the black dog sniffing around, please, please, please reach out. Ninka, Phil, Mitchell, Dexter. Olivia was your gift to the world, and she has loved all round the world, so many friends. She loved you all so much and talked about you all the time. Bexy, she said you were amazing, and you are. Olivia's smile will never leave us and demands that we live a life that makes us all smile as brightly. I love you, Olivia. I always will. Because a beautiful young girl taught me how to live LIV. Thank you.
Thanks, Hamish, for those great words. Anna and Jasmine are going to come and share a poem that was written by one of Ninka's friends. And they're going to come and share that now as part of the family.
Spoken to me. This is a poem by Mike Greenslade. It's okay to cry on days when grey sky invades the goodness of our usness. It's okay to weep and keep alive the memory of her who we lost. It's okay to say that what was done was wrong, and it's time we stood as one, not the same, not copies, not clones who march in step, but reflect her smile, colourful, wonderful. It's okay to cry today. Tears of despair, tears of repair. Tears that show we care. For her, for ourselves, for each other. Lovers of humanity in all our colours.
Thanks, girls. In a few minutes, we're going to have the opportunity to reflect as we watch the screen and look at Olivia's life through photograph. But before that, my few words about Liv's life go back to her final words to us as a humanity and as a world. And in those words, there was expressions of love, of encouragement, and challenge. They were all attached to her final words to us. But a reoccurring theme to particular individuals and groups of individuals was these words, I'll be watching. And she's expressing the life that she was about to enter after this life in eternity, watching from a place outside of the framework of the life we live here on planet Earth, the afterlife. The word watch has quite a few meanings if you look it up in the dictionary, but I think in the context of Liv's words when she was speaking to particular people, means to look or wait attentively and expectantly. To look or wait attentively and expectantly. See, watching is about caring. It's about protecting. It's about covering. It's about having that weight of expectation and waiting expectantly to see the best evolve from the life of a human and in turn humanity. One of the catchphrases, particularly since COVID, has been watch out for each other or look out for each other, and it's almost become a series of words that are just spoken, but I wonder, even while these words ring true, are they really what we live? I'll be watching you to champion your achievements. I'll be watching you to look for signs of inner pain. I'll be watching you to ask the hard questions. I'll be watching you to encourage the heart that's down. I'll be watching you to bring hope in a seemingly hopeless situation. We weren't able to ultimately achieve that for Liv. But I believe she wants us to do that for each other. I want to read a psalm to you, and it was written for a group of people who were traveling from one place to another on an incline. And it goes like this. I look up to the mountains. Does my help come from there? No, my help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. He will not let you stumble. The one who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over you never slumbers or sleeps. The Lord himself watches over you. The Lord stands beside you as your protective shade. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon at night. The Lord keeps you from all harm and watches over your life. The Lord keeps watch over you as you come and go, both now and forever. I wonder if that's something that Liv is trying to leave with us today, that in the biggest scheme of life, that there is humanity in humanity, but something bigger than that going on in the realm of eternity. And I think as God watches, so should we. Liv, we saw you, but we all wish we had watched you more closely. But we take courage today, and your lead today, in being more determined to watch out for each other, individually and collectively. Let's turn our eyes to the screen.
They say people come, say people go. This particular diamond is extra special. I know you might be gone, and the world may not know. Still I see a celestial. like a lion he ran. God is hero, like an eagle he circled, imperfectible. So I come things move on, I come cars don't slow, when it feels like the end of my world. When I should, but I can't let you go. But when I'm cold, I'm cold. When I'm cold, cold. There's a lot that you give me when I'm in shadow. There's a feeling within me, never glow. My brothers in blood, the sisters who ride. When we swore on that night we'd be friends till we die. But the changing of winds and the way waters flow, life is short as the falling of snow. And now I'm gonna miss you, I know. But when I'm cold, I'm cold. You are all the soul, and I know that you with me, and the way you will show, and you with me wherever I go. And you give me this feeling, this I wanna give for just a moment to hold. Yeah, I live for this feeling, this everglow. So if you love someone, you should let them know. When the light that you left me will ever glow.
Your mouth is a revolver, find bullets in the sky. Your love is like a soldier, loyal till you die. And I've been looking at the stars for a long, long time. I've been putting out fires all my life. Everybody wants a flame, they don't want to get burned. And today is our turn. Days like these lead to nights like this, lead to love like ours. You light the spark in my bonfire heart. People like us, we don't need that much, just someone that starts the spark in our bonfire hearts. This world is getting colder, strangers passing by. No one offers you a shoulder, no one looks you in the eye. But I've been looking at you for a long, long time, just trying to break through, trying to make you mine. Everybody wants to flame, they don't want to get burned. Well, today is our turn. Days like these lead to nights like this, lead to love like ours. You like the spark in my bonfire heart. People like us, we don't need that much, just someone that starts the spark in our bonfire hearts. Our bonfire hearts. Our bonfire hearts. Our bonfire hearts. You like the spark. People like us, we don't need that much, just someone that starts the spark in our bonfire hearts. Days like these lead to nights like this, lead to love like ours. You like the spark in my bonfire heart. People like us, we don't need that much, just someone that starts the spark in our bonfire hearts. Our bonfire hearts. Days like these lead to nights like this, lead to love like ours. You like the spark in my bonfire heart. People like us, we don't need that much, just someone that starts the spark in our bonfire hearts.
Well, they say people come, say people go. This particular diamond is extra special. I know you might be gone, and the world may not know. Still, I see a celestial. Like a lion he ran, goddess hero. Like an eagle you circle, imperfectible. So I come things move on, I come cars don't slow. When it feels like the end of my world, when I should but I can't let you go. But when I'm cold, I'm cold, I'm cold. There's a lot that you gave me when I'm in shadow. There's a feeling within me, never glow.
Thank you so much to everyone who contributed to that particular montage and slideshow. We're going to have our final prayer in a moment, and then Olivia will be carried out to the hearse. We want to invite you all to stay for refreshments. As you go out towards where you came in, on the right-hand side, there's a big space there where refreshments are going to be served, and you're all more than welcome, if we can get you in there, to stay for that. We'll do our best. Let's pray. Livy, you will stay in our memories. I've heard so many words today about who you were, what you achieved, what you brought to our lives. And we're very thankful for that. But you will be missed. We will think about what could have been next for you. We will have those conversations. But we will remember your love and your life. So if we release you today to the hands of God, your Creator and Saviour. Amen. What if we could all stand, please?
I pray you'll be alright and watch us where we go and help us to be wise in times when we don't know. Let this be our when we lose our way. Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be safe.
La luce che tu dai
I pray we'll find your
nel
light
cuore resterà
and hold it in our heart.
a ricordarci che
When stars go out each night,
l'eterna stella sei nella mia preghiera.
let this be our prayer.
Quanta fede c'è
When shadows fill our day,
lead us to a place,
guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be saved.
sogniamo un mondo senza più violenza, un mondo di giustizia e di speranza. Ognuno Dio l'ama e suo vicino. just like every child.
Just like every child, need to find a place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be saved. E la fede che hai acceso in noi, sento che ci salverà.
They say people come, say people go. This particular diamond is extra special. And though you might be gone, and the world may not know, still I see a celestial. Like a lion he ran, goddess hero. Like an eagle you circle, imperfectible. So how come things move on? How come cars don't slow? When it feels like the end of my world. When I should but I can't let you go. But when I'm cold, I'm cold. When I'm cold, there's a lot that you give me. When I'm in shadow, there's a feeling within me, never glows. My brothers in blood, sisters in right. When we swore on that night we'd be friends till we die. But the changing of winds and the way waters flow, life is short as the falling of snow. And now I'm gonna miss you, I know. But when I'm cold, I'm cold. You are So if you love someone, you should let them know the light that she left me will ever glow.